Take two.
What's up? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
All right. I think we're live. If anybody is on this, say hi. Let us
Proof
know
of
that we're
life.
live.
Something.
Yeah. All right. So last week was spring break. We're coming back to an awesome week. We're coming back to baseline week of our summer cycle. Let me bring that thing up. Let's have a look. Share this screen.
Yeah. I feel like I think of it as like a holiday, like 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Oh, Cash says hi. We're live.
Let's do it like that. Hey, Cash. We're live. Finally. We had some trouble this morning, Cash, but we're here. We're rocking and rolling. So this scorecard. Usually this is a weekend review, but because we're so excited about this week, we figured we'd talk about this week and just how this summer scorecard came to be. Because our last quarter, our spring quarter, we got the most results, the best results we've ever got. Over 400 PRs, scorecards. Everybody gets what it's about now. They were all filled out. People get to see their results. So we want to talk about how we got to this point and how this scorecard came about. So 2015, CrossFit Grant Street started, and I'll share this so you can see.
Dang.
See if I look the same.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, not bad. But yeah, CrossFit Grant Street started, and our program was very interesting. Like it was just all in on the latest trend, functional fitness, group classes, and our baseline week. We didn't have a week. We had. Cash will enjoy seeing this. We had what was called a test day, and on test day. Thanks, Cash. I haven't aged a bit. Do you want me to bring up a photo of you next to this one, or we keep it? This is Cash from last week. So we used to have a test day. So the way it worked is we had 3 levels, and we had green was beginner, blue was intermediate, and then red was elite or RX. I can't remember what we called it. And the way it worked is we used to write everything on whiteboards. So you would be allowed to use the pen that associated with your level. So if you were a beginner, you could write in the green pen. If you were intermediate, you wrote in the blue pen. And if you were elite or whatever we called it, advanced, you wrote in the red pen. And so you see on the whiteboard behind Chris, you can see the different colored pens that people were writing in. And so Chris is holding up the pen because he got to graduate to the blue pen, right? That was the way that it worked. So your goal was to get to the next level and be able to use that pen. And then we had the test day. You had to pass 10 out of the 11 tests that we had that day and the workout. See, even Crash says that.
11 tests and
I
the
think it was
workout.
10 out of 11, yeah.
Dang.
And the workout.
Okay.
In the
That's
day.
A lot.
And there was like 3 monostructural, 2 or 3 gymnastic, 2 or 3 strength. Oh, so maybe we picked 1. I think we picked 1. So I think we picked like 1 gymnastic, 1 monostructural, 1 strength.
Okay.
The workout, we can't have picked 1 because it was 10 out of it. Maybe it was like 8 or 9, right? It was a lot. It was a lot of shit you had to do.
Yeah.
And then you had to do the workout too, and it was super stressful. And people did not enjoy test day, right? Like I didn't enjoy it. I don't think the athletes enjoyed it. It was very stressful. A few people left crying. It just wasn't good. It wasn't a good way to do it. Me being like super CrossFit guy, I thought it was the thing that you should be doing, right? Like I was like, if you can't pass 10 out of 11 of these tests, then you don't deserve the next level. You know, like I was all in on that shit. I kind of wish you could have seen it, Zap. It was It was intense. I'm sure you can imagine it.
Oh, I can, but I can't imagine trying to do it now.
I don't think you can imagine trying to teach people to coach it. It was like only me that
Yeah.
knew it, had created it, knew how to go through it, could coach it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, and it was something that came from the first gym that I ever went to, and they did it like that. And we had athlete levels that corresponded to it, but it was just a little bit too intense.
Mhm.
Uh, and then when you first came in and started becoming the head coach, did we have test weeks and stuff like that?
Um, I feel like it was something that had just started when you started kinda teaching me how to program and, like, develop the training cycles. I don't think it was as, like,
Had we kind of gone
clear.
away from it?
Yeah, and then we brought it back. You're like, we need to start testing again rather than just having, like, random it was just very random, and then we that was
Yeah.
kind of what we started working on is bringing a little bit more, like, rhyme and reason to when we do things and how we program.
Yeah, we'd have like quarterly um workouts that we bring back and we'd be training like it
Yes.
would be per quarter, right? But I don't
Mhm.
think we'd yeah, I don't think we'd level up or like know what them things were, right? And
Mhm.
I kind of like that we don't necessarily level people up anymore or level down or whatever. Now it's like you know what level you're training at, you know what you're aiming for, and
Mhm.
then everybody can just test and retest the workouts and they work for all levels, right?
Yeah.
And so that's sorry, Cash, I'll get this picture off the screen for you. But like that's kind of where we've ended up with this. And the thing that I
Mhm.
like about this scorecard um more than most is like we've even simplified it down even more now.
Yeah.
Like this is the most simple card we've had, right?
Yep.
Of them all.
Yeah.
It's easier to fill in, there's more
Mhm.
space. Um and having that makeup day is really cool, really important. So
Yeah.
it's made it less stressful of a week, more approachable, more doable, um, and just more exciting. So this has been a journey for us just over the past year. These scorecards have been in place a year now, right? Is it longer than a year?
No, I actually think last summer was summer cycle 2024 was when we did our digital version, and we tried to make and send out digital scorecards for all the athletes. Um, and then last fall was the first time we had the physical cards. So yeah, it's been almost a full year of the cards.
Wow. And the cards, yeah, like at first people I just don't think understood what it was for, right?
No, it took time. And that's something that I didn't realize how long it would take. Like we did it for one cycle and I was like, don't these people get what's going on? It's like, no, it took, a few cycles of seeing the cards come back for people to realize like, oh, got it. Like this is what we do every quarter. This is what baseline week is. And there's still, people that are figuring it out, but I
Hmm.
think the spring cycle was the most engaged I've ever seen our athletes with, making sure they're not out of town during retest week and making sure they prioritize certain workouts. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that develop even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, like we used to just test a lot of simple stuff. The thing that I've
Hmm.
enjoyed about us coming up with this week is having the complexes in there.
Hmm.
And I think that's something that is very OxFit, right? Is when I was explaining it to somebody that was new that was in the gym today, it was they were like, "So we're just trying to max." And I was like, "Kind of, but you got to get a 5-3-1
Hmm.
and it's not going to be a true 1 rep max, but it's what you can do in this amount of time." And so it's just less aggressive and less like about how what you can 1 rep max. It's about what you
Hmm.
can do in this amount of time, and then we're gonna do a workout. And I just think
Yeah.
it's so much more fits our culture and what we're about, right? Like when I look
Hmm.
back on where we started and where people ended up, it just fits the programming. Like a day like a test day and a baseline day was so difficult before because we had so many moving parts. And that's how I feel like our programming was. It was, all right, now we got to go and get these PVC pipes out for 20 minutes and figure out how
Mhm.
to do this movement. And most people, you might not really graduate from the PVC pipe today. And
Yeah.
so that's where you're going to be for 40 to 45 minutes. Maybe you can go on a training bar. To
Mhm.
today's class, I had to go over a little bit of technique, but then we were straight to working, right? We were straight
Mhm.
into working out. We were moving for 20, 35, 40 minutes of the day, like nonstop, not including the warm up. So 45 minutes. And I only had to spend like 10 to 15 minutes because the techniques led into each other. They
Mhm.
were simple. And it wasn't like you have to figure out how to move for 20 minutes before we can even go into the workout, And like when I look back over 10 years, that's how far we've come is
Yeah.
we are moving for 40 to 45 minutes of every hour class that you
Mhm.
do, even if it's a test, a baseline, even if there's, lifting, it's just it's just more fitness.
Yeah. And I like how, um, and I think last summer our baseline week had it was just more complex. And I like how we give athletes opportunities to try more complex skills or movements during the cycle. But when it comes time to actually test yourself and see if you've gotten better, everything is just very like foundational. So
Mm,
even if you are an athlete working on higher skill movements, we're still like teaching the importance of just getting a good like unbroken set of pull-ups, even if
yeah.
you've been trying to do bar muscle ups in a workout or whatever it is. So I think making the tests really foundational, simple, and just super like cut and dry. This is what you were able to do this week. This is what you were able to do when you retest it, makes it just so much more enjoyable for the athletes because
Mm,
it's not ever a movement or a workout where it's like, oh, it depends on the day, it has to be the perfect circumstance. It's the same way we train week by week, and it's too complicated or you have to worry about running out of time like you did before when you had these crazy like test days.
yeah. Yeah, and it's where everybody can get fitter and stronger today.
Hmm.
Right? Not, well, only the
Yeah.
people that know the exact technique and how to do it, and they've spent 5 years perfecting their form on that. Yeah, we're going to perfect
Right.
your form as we go. We're going to make you better. We're going to make you get
Hmm.
better with your technique every day. There's not less focus on you moving well. I would
Hmm.
argue that our athletes move better than most gyms I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's just we don't want to spend 45 minutes on technique. We want to spend 10 to 15, keep the movement simple, and get you stronger, fitter, and more ripped in the amount of time that we have.
Yeah.
And that's the progression over the 10
Hmm.
years is pulling out all the complex stuff that just doesn't need to be there because it doesn't contribute to you getting strong, fit, and ripped, and putting in more movement, more fitness, and
Hmm.
just more fun.
Yeah. And it's, certain movements, it's it's not it's more fun. It's not enjoyable if during baseline week you're moving a PVC pipe and then during retest week you are kind of able to do it with a regular bar.
Hmm.
Like how disappointing is that? Like you want to be able to actually do these functional movements. And so I think we do a good job of keeping the stuff that matters and not being romantic about anything and just giving our athletes what they want, which is a great environment and workouts that are going to give them results. And like you said, movement for more than just 20 minutes and then they get to stand there and listen to me talk for 40 minutes of their hour.
Yeah, you don't have to come to a coach's seminar every day. You come to
Yeah.
a fitness class where the coach is going to get you better, and you're going to
Hmm.
work on the things that are going to get you better. And the coach gets to see you move more, right?
Hmm.
So let's look at the programming. Let's bring this up, and because this is now where all this stuff ties into you getting better and you working on goals that you have for the rest of the year.
Hmm.
So let me see which is the best screen for this. Nope. All right. So it's probably going to be this one.
Yeah.
So we look at today's workout, and like I
Mhm.
talked about before, it's so cool that I think when we first wrote this down, it was like a 5 rep front squat.
Yeah.
And then after the last cycle, we were doing it and we were like, it's just not, it was so much more fun to test 3 lifts in the amount
Mhm.
of time. So let's bring down the time, but let's tie them all together. So what if you could get better at a push press, a thruster, and a front squat? And then it gives you more fun for programming the rest of the cycle, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and
And
it's
so, yeah, go ahead.
um well, yeah, it is just more fun because, we could spend a week where we really focus and whether people realize it or not, they're also developing their front squat and their overhead press. There could be weeks where we don't do any thrusters at all, but we isolate the overhead press and the front squat. So it just gives you so many different ways to work on the same movements without coming in and being like, all right, this week we're going to do a 5x5 front squat. Next week we're going to do a 5x3 front squat. And, a more typical progression. I think it just keeps it more interesting for athletes.
Yeah, and we like it adds more safety to it too because you only have 5 minutes. So we're
Right.
gonna warm you up really well. Now the push press is gonna warm up your shoulders. Great. Now the
Hmm.
thrust is gonna warm up your front squat and your push press, and then we'll finish 5 minutes. Okay, go heavy for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but we don't need to spend an hour on that front
Hmm.
squat. Like let's just see what you can do in 15 minutes, and then let's get better at it over the next 8 weeks and retest it again. And
Right.
then my favorite workout is a workout that we did 10 years ago. It's called Fight Gone Bad, right?
Hmm.
It was my jam because it's fast and it's light.
Hmm.
And then to tie that back into this year doing this and having it with the hybrid stuff, just it makes my day because this ties to so many things that we can do over the next 8 weeks and so many events we've got coming up. We've got Decker Atlas coming up. We've got High Rocks. We've got all these
Hmm.
things that it ties into that more people can compete. And this
Yeah.
workout to me, if you enjoyed this workout today, you've got to be doing one of our events. You've got to be doing Atlas. You've got to be doing High
Yeah.
Rocks. You've got to be doing Decker. And like, I could never have imagined these things would be so cool now after 4 or 5 years ago, us trying to come up with our own version of this hybrid fitness stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was really excited for today because I think it's also showing like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can have such a simple structure that we've done time and time again, but really actually make it like this is OxFit, like this today,
Yeah.
the Rack City going into the Fight Gone hybrid, and it's but it's simple, but it's effective, and it's really fun. So yeah, I love
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah. Today is, if you enjoy today, you enjoy OxFit because we got all
Hmm.
the different strength movements. And then it's almost a classic, like CrossFit style workout, but then completely redesigned for hybrid stuff. So for
Hmm.
DECA Atlas. And it just, today just ties in 10 years of programming, 10 years of evolution, 10 years of testing and retesting and seeing what works and doing different events. And yeah, like if you come to an OxFit class today, you get to see 10 years of evolution of where we started and where we are now. And um, it used to be me writing the workouts, doing the programming, coaching all the classes, cleaning the gym. And now you get to see you wrote these workouts. I did them with you, right? Like I worked
Hmm.
out with you, but you wrote this whole thing. And then you get to go into 2 different locations and see OxFit coaches lead in a fun fitness friendship class
Yeah.
with people moving for 45 to 50 minutes of the day. No PVC pipe uh, coach seminar. No, like, you can't lift that yet. No, like slowing people down. No telling people what they
Hmm.
can't do. It's all about what you can do, and it's all about pushing people to be stronger, fitter, more ripped, and have a good time while they're doing it. And today is the day, right? Like the rest
Yeah.
of the week, we can go through it, but today is the one that you get to see how far
Mhm.
we've come, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
All right, let's look at. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to show this one.
Yeah, based on how my prep workout went for this one
Yeah.
that nobody came to, but that's okay.
So initially we said this was. Can you still see it?
Yeah.
So initially we said this was a 5K on the video, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely a 6K.
Yeah.
So
If you hit those
yeah,
targets,
if you
for
can hit
sure.
30 and 27, which I like that we put the totals in there too, right? Like a target total.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter if you had a 6K, 5K, 4K, 3K. It's just, can you beat your score next time, right? And
Mhm.
then uh, I love that it's couched to Peachtree. If you want to do the Peachtree, then this is your workout, right? Like
Yeah.
it's going to be 6K of calories, but it's going to feel like you've just done a 10K of running.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
love this workout, and it's such a good example for people to see how they can train for so many different things just by coming to class. Um, and
it's
I
what we've
do
been
like,
talking about for years, right?
yeah.
Like this is how you should train to run. Caitlin said, I knew it was more. Well, you're gonna find out tomorrow because there's no way you even got close. We did not do the
Yeah,
whole thing. So
I was gonna say, also, you weren't getting 27 calories. None of us were.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, you were talking about running.
Um, yeah, and it's just such a stark difference from, other workouts this week. And I think this week is also a really great blueprint for like, if you know what workouts this week are directly correlate with, okay, I want to get fitter, better at running, I need to make sure I come to workouts that look like Couch to Peachtree. You're going to be
Right.
able to compare everything to this baseline week and use it as your guide for, oh, okay, so this week, Friday's workout is actually super similar to Monday, and I want to get better at Deca Atlas. So I'm going to make sure I make it that day. So it's a good blueprint for everything we have in this training cycle.
Yeah, and it's how we've trained for everything, right? It's how we
Mm-hmm.
trained for our marathons. It's how we trained
Yeah.
for it's how we're training for high rocks, right? Like I see
Yeah.
people training for high rocks just running themselves into the ground. They've got shin splints, they got ankle problems,
Mm-hmm.
they got hip problems, they got back problems. They just wall ball and run themselves into the ground. Like get off the treadmill and
Yeah.
understand like we did a workout yesterday where we ran once per round, but we were training for 80 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my Achilles feel good, my calves feel good, my hamstrings feel good, but I'm I know the thing that I'm so excited about is I was worried today I was going to wake up and not be able to walk, but we've been doing these workouts where we've been training for 80 to 90 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and I feel great today. And I'm like, okay, I'm close to ready for high rocks now. Cuz
Yeah.
like when we first started doing these high rocks workouts, I I could barely walk after all the wall balls. But
Right.
yesterday I did 60 wall balls per round, 4 rounds, so 240 wall balls. My legs feel good. Whereas we were
Yeah.
doing 100 and my legs were wrecked, you know? So
Yeah.
building volume in different ways, and that's what we're doing with that couch to Peachtree is showing you
Mm-hmm.
like you can build the volume and go and run a 10K
Mm-hmm.
without having to run 5 10Ks before you do it.
Right.
And so again, it's just our evolution over the past 10 years. All right, Wednesday, get your weight vest ready. It's weight vest
Yes.
Wednesdays all 8 weeks, right? We're
All
doing it
cycle. Yep.
all
Every
cycle.
Wednesday.
So yeah, so even that, like we haven't toned down the way we train. Like
Mm-hmm.
OxFit workouts are fucking hard.
Yeah.
We haven't gone like, oh, we've watered everything down and made it easy. No, no. It's just as hard as it's ever been. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we've taken away having to do a certification to be able to get through a class.
Right.
And I am terrified for Wednesday. And
Yep.
I've been doing this shit for 14 years. And this workout scares the hell out of me because I've never done a bar muscle up with a weight vest. So I might get stuck for 10 minutes right here.
Right, but that's what baseline week is for.
That's what it's for. A new challenge. 10 years,
Mhm.
14 years later, a new challenge, a new fitness challenge.
Mhm.
And so here we're taking our hero week. We're breaking it down into 3 different workouts and 2 rounds in 10 minutes of the first one, 4 rounds of the second one, and then 6 rounds of the third one.
Mhm.
What are you thinking about this one?
I'm nervous too, but I think we've had some sneaky workouts the past 2 or 3 weeks that have gotten athletes ready for kind of the mental grind of Weight Vest Wednesday and hero workouts. So I actually think this is going to be fun because it's for time. It's probably going to feel like it goes by really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Well, I'm
I
excited. I
think
think we're gonna this cycle. We're gonna be doing more workouts in blocks of time like that for time, right?
yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to because we've been doing a lot of intervals, a lot
Hmm.
of heavy intervals to start off the year. It'll be fun to throw in some of these workouts that are like rounds for time in a block, in a window.
Hmm. Especially with movements that are like you could hit a wall. Like at some point you can't do more push-ups or you can't do any more pull-ups. So it'll be fun to kind of play around with that and see how much faster, how much further we can get into workouts with such basic skills, but ones that you can't necessarily just kind of muscle through. You either do it or you don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then we're training for our hero week, which will be fun.
Hero week.
All righty. Thursday, the last day of the week before the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very much like a hero workout. So talk us through jump around.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed ending the test weeks with something fast, and this is a moderate to light barbell, so it shouldn't feel, you know, too crazy coming off of those 3 days of workouts before. Um, but yeah, it's meant to be quick. So 10 doubles, 5 deadlifts, 3 hang power cleans, 1 shoulder to overhead. And then we've got some burpee penalty if you drop a barbell. But I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a race to, what was it? To a race to like 8 rounds. 2 rounds during that 2 minutes is kind of what you should be aiming for. But it's a fun challenge to see if you can keep up with it. And then we've got another 15-minute little lifting session, but we're going in the opposite order this time. Starting with a 1 rep, then 3 rep, then 5 rep on that bar.
Yeah, I love it. I love how it's just so different to Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but like very similar in terms of setup, but
Mm-hmm.
gonna feel completely different, right? Like
Oh, it's going to feel so different.
yeah. And then to build up to the clean grip deadlifts. And I like that, there's just subtle things where we want you to start controlling the bar and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to be focused on that's how we're going to work on your grip strength this cycle. We worked on it with doing tons of carries and
Mm-hmm.
holds and things like that. Now it's going to be about how long you can hold on to the bar and get better at clean grip deadlifts, hang power cleans, and just holding on to that bar for longer. So
Yeah.
that is awesome. And then finally, we have a makeup day, which is
Yep.
something new. If you still want to come and work out that day, you can, but this is not on the scorecard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we probably won't retest it. We'll probably throw something different in because we don't want that day to necessarily be a test day. We need
Yeah.
to come enjoy it. And then that's building us up for Saturday, which is something. It's not the PFT. So, um, do we have that workout listed somewhere? Or are you going to put that in there?
I can add that in there.
Cool. I can
I was
bring it
just
up on
trying to
Confidence
funnel
Corner, right?
funnel people to actually sign up for it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not the PFT. I like it because it's gonna get people like a little bit closer to what an actual high rocks is, which is cool.
Mhm.
We're definitely fit enough for it. We're just taking the running out of it, so we just have that fun like gym environment with the DECA events we do. I love having everyone in the gym working at the same time. Um, so yeah, no running, all the high rock stations, and I love that we're gonna have people choose to go by themselves or partner up. I think that's gonna make it even more fun.
Yeah, we already have people signing up.
Oh,
So we got,
awesome.
yeah. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people already signed up.
Nice.
So that's awesome. And we got some people doing the doubles too, which is cool. So let me bring up the page dashboard. So this is our first doubles event that we've done.
Yeah.
Workouts, divisions. Let's keep that up. Hopefully
Oh,
this is big.
noon class. I'm coaching noon class. Thanks, Chris.
Oh,
That's
Savannah's
hilarious.
gonna leave soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave soon, but I can hang for a couple more minutes.
So this is our High Rocks Strong, and like we said, it's 2 divisions. We're gonna have an individual division, which will be the pro, and then we're gonna do the doubles, which will be the open. And so we're gonna keep it just like that. So your option is you can do the pro individually, and we'll have the weights for that. And something that I got to change on that is the farmer's carry is not the right weight there, so we got to adjust that. It's a little heavier. And then the High Rock Strong Open division, we'll keep that the same. And so register for that. Use code OxFit, and that's free for our OxFit athletes. And then if you know anybody that wants to do it, if you know anybody that didn't get into High Rocks, they can come and use this as a nice test of their training. And then we will retest it again. I don't know if we'll retest this. Will this be retest week?
Yeah, this is our Fit Fest.
Yep. Cool. We're not gonna get into that. We'll get into that later, right? So
Yeah.
cool. So what a week. Yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody come and crush it. I think this is going to be our best summer cycle we've ever had, all leading into a special event we've got coming up in the middle of summer, but we'll get into that another time once we've got all the details finalized. But get in the gym, crush this week, have fun with the workouts, and make sure you fill out your whole scorecard, right? Like, especially now, like 10 years have gone into building this scorecard.
Yeah.
Make sure you fill it out. Make sure you
Especially
use it. Go ahead.
use that Friday makeup day.
Yeah.
If you weren't
If you
able to
miss,
get in today, take advantage of Friday.
yeah, and sign up for Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a real test. And if you're a little bit nervous, just sign up with a partner, right? We got High Rocks partners and we got High Rocks individual. So, all right. Have a great day. Have a great week. See you in the gym.